Across different regions, the battle against wild boars unfolds like a sequence of carefully executed operations. Each event reveals the mounting efforts of experienced hunters working to protect crops, restore ecological balance, and prevent further destruction caused by these increasingly bold animals. With precise coordination, discipline, and an acute understanding of the terrain, hunters from various parts of the world demonstrate what it takes to confront one of agriculture's most persistent threats. In Kenya, an early morning ambush was carried out with remarkable efficiency. By 6 a.m., the hunting team was already in position. As tension gripped the air, movement in the nearby thicket signaled the arrival of a wild boar. Emerging cautiously, the animal began sniffing the area, only to be immediately intercepted by a single, well-timed shot. The encounter ended swiftly, a testament to the precision and preparation behind the operation. Not far from Savo, another successful interception unfolded. A team arrived by off-road vehicle and took cover behind a rocky outcrop, observing the opposite hillside for signs of activity. Eventually, a wild boar appeared, already foraging along the slope. Once in range, a focused shot was executed, stopping the animal before it could reach nearby fields. These operations emphasize the importance of vigilance and control, especially in unpredictable, open environments. In the hilly regions of Poland, similar challenges await. Hunters must navigate sparse landscapes where visibility is high, but the margin for error remains narrow. In Białowieża forest, a seasoned hunter tracked signs across a windswept slope. Suddenly, a shadow darted through the underbrush. With immediate focus and steady aim, the hunter delivered a precise response, marking another example of expert timing and calculated action. Meanwhile, in the borderlands near the Sierra Moroccan forest, a different strategy was employed. Teams deployed with trained dogs to cover expansive grasslands. When the signal bark was heard, the team responded with practiced efficiency. A wild boar broke from cover, but a calm and measured shot brought the situation under control. As dusk settled over the Hordo-Bajii region, the hunt escalated in intensity. In a rice field fully secured by hunters, sudden commotion near a checkpoint indicated movement. A massive wild boar charged forward, attempting to break through the perimeter. The escape was swiftly blocked. Gunfire ensured that the field remained protected. Wild boars pose a growing concern across regions. Weighing up to 300 pounds and equipped with powerful tusks, they can damage farmlands, threaten livestock, and disrupt local ecosystems. Traditional deterrents, such as fencing or traps, often prove ineffective against their strength and persistence. This has led many communities to rely on well-trained hunting teams as a preventive measure. In dense, swampy environments, these animals take full advantage of the natural cover. Navigating such areas requires caution, cooperation, and support from trained dogs. These dogs serve not only as trackers but also as early warning systems, alerting their handlers to nearby movement and helping to avoid unexpected encounters. In one particularly challenging mission, a team ventured into thick forest terrain surrounded by towering trees and dense grass. The group dispersed into designated positions to form a wide perimeter. Within 10 minutes, intense barking erupted from within the brush, signaling the presence of a target. All eyes turned toward the direction of the sound, watching carefully for any sign of movement. These hunts, although intense, are not about sport. They are strategic efforts to protect land, preserve livelihoods, and maintain safety in regions where wild boars pose a significant risk. Through discipline, skill, and coordination, each team plays a vital role in addressing this growing challenge. The dense wetlands and forested fringes of this region have become prime territory for wild boars, whose rapid reproduction and destructive behavior have made them a persistent threat to agriculture and rural stability. In one notable encounter, a large boar burst out from the tall grass, charging headlong toward a team member. Immediate and well-coordinated action brought it down swiftly, with shots delivered in rapid succession. The animal collapsed before it could reach its target. Following this tense confrontation, the team advanced to pursue additional threats. In the distance, wild boars were seen emerging from the brush, cautiously foraging through the thick vegetation. Rather than engaging immediately, the hunters took cover and waited patiently. Once the animals drew closer, controlled bursts of gunfire echoed across the swamp. Each shot was calculated and effective, neutralizing the advancing animals. The region offered ideal conditions for wild boars: dense cover, plentiful food, and few natural predators. Within just 15 minutes of observation, another team member successfully identified and engaged a target emerging from a cluster of reeds. The animal collapsed within seconds, the result of a single, well-placed shot. From a carefully chosen vantage point, binoculars revealed an entire herd foraging on the forest floor below, unaware of the watchful eyes tracking their movement. One boar was targeted from long range. A thunderous shot rang out, and the animal dropped its head before collapsing. Elsewhere, within the palm thickets, another hunter tracked a boar in silence. The animal emerged from behind a palm tree, and with calm precision, the rifle was raised and fired. The shot struck true, dropping the boar instantly without struggle. These swampy terrains are not only challenging to navigate, but are also home to unpredictable hazards. Wild boars can reproduce rapidly, sometimes multiplying several times within a few months. When food becomes scarce, they frequently descend into farmland, tearing through crops and breaking into livestock enclosures. In many places, the boundary between human settlements and wild terrain has become increasingly blurred. In such circumstances, active wildlife management is essential. But controlling wild boars is no simple task. They are resilient, aggressive, and capable of inflicting serious injury on anyone who underestimates them. In response to these challenges, well-trained hunting dogs are often employed to locate and flush out targets from thick brush or inaccessible terrain. However, even with canine assistance, confronting a wild boar in open terrain remains one of the most dangerous aspects of the hunt. Every encounter demands discipline and precision. At one point, after discovering fresh tracks, a marksman prepared to engage. The underbrush ahead rustled faintly, then part of the boar emerged. A carefully timed shot was fired, striking the animal and ending the threat in an instant. Along the edge of a cliff, hunting dogs barked frantically below, signaling the presence of a nearby group. Moments later, the sound of movement confirmed that the boars were attempting to escape. The lead hunter raised his rifle and fired. The first animal fell immediately. A second shot scattered the rest, sending them fleeing into the distance. From an elevated viewpoint, additional signs of movement were detected. A shadow moved through the bushes, partially exposed. A shot was fired but missed. The boar retreated, only to be struck by a follow-up shot. Though wounded, it managed to escape deeper into the undergrowth. Meanwhile, another group of wild boars was spotted fleeing down the mountainside. One hunter quickly locked onto the second boar in the formation. A single shot dropped the target. The next two shots were aimed at the lead animal, both hitting their mark. As the rear group veered off toward the right, another hunter reloaded and fired. The first shot missed, but the second found its target. These encounters underscore the complexity and intensity of modern wild boar management. Each engagement requires not just firepower, but patience, teamwork, and deep familiarity with the environment. In regions where these animals continue to spread, such efforts remain a critical component of maintaining ecological balance and agricultural security. In one of the final moments of the operation, the third lead boar was taken down instantly. In such uneven and vegetated terrain, tools like binoculars are vital for identifying movement between slopes and bushes. A boar was spotted weaving through dense foliage in an attempt to flee. Maintaining distance and composure, the hunter tracked its movement, waiting for a clear shot. As it squeezed through a narrow gap, the first shot missed. A second, more precise round followed, this time striking the target. The animal collapsed and rolled down the slope. As dusk settled behind the mountains, visibility began to diminish. The team accelerated its efforts to locate the last remaining animals. The sound of hounds barking echoed from below, signaling active pursuit. Rustling in the bushes indicated movement. A hunter quickly responded, firing 2 accurate rounds. The boar fell instantly, unable to retreat. Gunfire from other team members echoed across the mountainside, marking a coordinated and decisive operation. The effort removed a serious threat to both local agriculture and communities. Wild boars, often weighing hundreds of pounds and equipped with razor-sharp tusks, are capable of inflicting severe damage. They frequently destroy farmland, damage infrastructure, and cause financial losses reaching into the thousands. Beyond property destruction, they pose direct threats to human safety and health, with risks of injury and transmission of diseases such as leptospirosis. In such high-risk conditions, hesitation is not an option. To support this operation, a team of trained hunting dogs was deployed. These dogs specialize in tracking prey through forested and grassy terrain. Once a boar is located, the dogs drive it into open areas, where ambush teams await. This strategy increases safety and minimizes the chances of escape. The team moved into a field that had recently been damaged. The barking of the dogs startled a group of wild boars, prompting them to flee toward nearby woodland. However, the team was already in position. Concealed behind vegetation, one hunter encountered a boar emerging directly in front. The lead animal was taken down with a clean shot. A second boar charged forward. The first shot missed, but a follow-up round brought it down. Teammates assisted in intercepting the remaining animals with coordinated fire. In another sector, the group set up around a larger field frequently visited by wild boars. Hidden along the field's perimeter, they remained alert for any signs of movement. Soon, rustling sounds approached from the adjacent forest. The noise grew louder. A full herd burst from the undergrowth. A quick series of shots was fired. 2 boars fell immediately, while the others retreated into the forest in panic. In a separate location, another hunter faced an oncoming herd. Maintaining composure, he fired at the lead boar, injuring it in the leg. A second shot aimed at a larger individual made limited contact, grazing the animal but not stopping it. The remainder of the herd fled deeper into the woods. The pursuit continued along the forest edge. Dogs barking in the distance alerted the team to another presence. A boar suddenly broke through the brush. A single shot dropped the animal on the spot. Elsewhere, another team member tracked movement in the grass. When the boar finally appeared, the response was swift and precise, another threat neutralized before it could escape. With darkness fast approaching, the goal was to complete the operation before nightfall. Hounds barking at close range indicated a fresh trail. As a boar burst from the foliage, a rapid shot ended the pursuit. Moments later, another animal emerged at full speed. The hunter reloaded and responded decisively. The second shot struck the target, bringing it down effectively.